Welcome back, in part 3 of MasterCard. Anyways, let's continue. MasterCard, Visa, and other credit cards have been used to fund accounts since online gambling began in the mid-1990s. On March 20, 2000, the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana reviewed motions in MasterCard International Incorporated regarding multi-district litigation alleging MasterCard illegally interacted with a number of internet casinos.
The plaintiffs alleged, among other claims, that MasterCard had violated the Federal Wire Act.
They sought financial relief for losses suffered at online gambling sites outside the United States. The District Court's ruling on February 23, 2001, later upheld by the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, sided with MasterCard.
The Fifth Circuit also clarified the application of the Wire Act to illegal online gambling.
The court determined that the Wire Act only applied to gambling activities related to a sporting event or contest.
Therefore, the court could not conclude that MasterCard had violated the Wire Act.
When TaBNWNE was overturned May 14, 2018, MasterCard had to provide new guidance to its member banks.
It clarified that state location restrictions apply to the individual placing the wager, not the member bank processing the transaction.
According to various state gaming laws, sports betting providers must use internet geolocation to determine a customer's physical location prior to accepting a wager.
The Independent Community Bankers of America specifically requested information about a new online gambling merchant category code.
MasterCard has dedicated MCC 7801 to online gambling.
This code is distinct from 7800 for government-owned lotteries and 7802 for government-licensed horse and dog tracks.
In December 2010, MasterCard blocked all payments to whistleblowing platform WikiLeaks due to claims that they engage in illegal activity.
In response, a group of online activists Anonymous organized a denial-of-service attack. As a result, the MasterCard website experienced downtime on December 8 to 9, 2010.
On December 9, 2010, the servers of MasterCard underwent a massive attack as part of an Operation Avengers Edge for closing down payments to WikiLeaks.
The security of thousands of credit cards was compromised during that attack due to a phishing site set up by the attackers.
However, MasterCard denied this, stating that account data had not been placed at risk.
WikiLeaks spokesman said, "We neither condemn nor applaud these attacks."
UNI Commissioner for Human Rights Navi Pillay said that closing down credit lines for donations to WikiLeaks could be interpreted as an attempt to censor the publication of information, thus potentially violating WikiLeaks' right to freedom of expression. In July 2011, Iceland-based IT firm DataCell, the company that enabled WikiLeaks to accept credit and debit card donations, said it would take legal action against Visa Europe and MasterCard, and that it would move immediately to try to force the two companies to resume allowing payments to the website.
Earlier on December 8, 2010, DataCell CEO Andreas Fink had stated that suspension of payments towards WikiLeaks is a violation of the agreements with their customers.
On July 14, 2011, DataCell announced they had filed a complaint with the European Commission claiming the closure by Visa and MasterCard of DataCell's access to the payment card networks violated the competition rules of the European community. On July 12, 2012, a Reykjavik court ruled that Valur, Visa and MasterCard's partner in Iceland, have to start processing donations within 14 days or pay daily fines to the amount of 800,000 Icelandic krona, some $6,000, for each day after that time, to open the payment gateway.
Valur also had to pay data cells litigation costs of 1.5 million Icelandic krona.
In 2014, pursuant to an agreement between MasterCard and the Nigerian government, acting through the National Identity Management Commission, the new Nigerian ID cards bear the MasterCard logo, contain personal database data and double as payment cards, irrevocably linking such payments to the individuals, sparking criticism by the Civil Rights Congress alleging that it represents the stamped ownership of a Nigerian by an American company, reminiscent of a logo pasted on the bodies of African slaves, transported across the Atlantic. In 2018, Bloomberg News reported that Google had paid millions of dollars to MasterCard for its users' credit card data for advertising purposes.
The deal had not been publicly announced.
On July 14, 2021, the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, indefinitely barred MasterCard from issuing new debit or credit cards to domestic Indian customers starting July 22, 2021, for violating data localization and storage rules as set by RBI on April 6, 2018, under Payment and Settlement Systems Act, 2007, PSS Act.
This ban does not affect cards already issued and working in India.
MasterCard is the third major payment systems provider to be restricted in India after American Express and Diners Club International.
On June 16, 2022, the business restrictions imposed were lifted by RBI with immediate effect.
In 2018, the State Bank of Vietnam, SBV, requested that banks temporarily halt the issuance of new MasterCard cards due to violations of international payment regulations.
Specifically, MasterCard did not comply with the regulation of conducting payments through the National Payment Corporation of Vietnam, NAPAS.
In 2020, the ban was lifted after MasterCard committed to complying with Vietnamese regulations.
Despite its widespread acceptance, using MasterCard in Vietnam still comes with certain limitations. Some Vietnamese websites and applications do not accept MasterCard as a payment method.
Not all ATMs in Vietnam allow cash withdrawals using MasterCard.
Some MasterCard users in Vietnam have reported experiencing inadequate customer service.
In December 2020, MasterCard barred the use of its credit cards on Pornhub, an online pornography site.
In April 2023, The Hill reported on an update to MasterCard's policy for adult content that would require sellers to have Asian identity verifications and content review prior to posting in place.
The new policies took effect in October 2021.
On August 30, 2023, the American Civil Liberties Union, in combination with a coalition of other organizations, filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission requesting an investigation into the policy as an unfair business practice under Section 5 of the FTC Act.
MasterCard faced further backlash in 2025 for pressuring video game digital distribution sites such as Steam and itch.io into cracking down on adult content following pressure from activist group Collective Shout.
MasterCard initially denied that it was doing so, but Valve, the developer of Steam, said that the company specifically cited MasterCard Rule 5.12.7, which which prohibits any transaction that is illegal or in the sole discretion of the corporation, may damage the goodwill of the corporation or reflect negatively on the marks, including that which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value, or any other material that the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark.
Depending on the geographical location, MasterCard issuers can issue cards in tiers, from the lowest to the highest. Credit cards, traditional/classic/standard, gold/titanium, diamond, platinum, world rewards, world black edition, black, world elite, and world legend.
And debit cards, traditional/classic/standard, gold/titanium, diamond, platinum, world black edition, black, and world elite.
Through a partnership with an internet company that specializes in personalized shopping, MasterCard introduced a web shopping mall on April 16, 2010 that it said can pinpoint with considerable accuracy what its cardholders are likely to purchase. In September 2014, MasterCard worked with Apple to incorporate a new mobile wallet feature into Apple's new iPhone and Apple Watch models known as Apple Pay, enabling users to more readily use their MasterCard and other credit cards. In May 2020, MasterCard announced the MasterCard Track Business Payment Service.
The service will provide business-to-business payments between buyers and suppliers.
According to the head of Global Commercial Products, it creates a directory of suppliers, enabling suppliers to publish their payment rules so they can better control how they receive payments while making it easier for buyers to find suppliers and understand their requirements. On February 10, 2021, MasterCard announced their support of cryptocurrencies, saying that later in 2021, MasterCard will start supporting select cryptocurrencies directly on their network.
One of the main focus areas that MasterCard wants to support is using digital assets for payments, and that crypto assets will need to offer the stability people need in a vehicle for spending, not investment.
In October 2021, MasterCard announced that through its partnership with VACT, any bank or merchant on its network would soon be able to offer crypto services.
In June 2022, MasterCard announced that it would now be allowing cardholders to purchase NFTs via various NFT scaling platforms.
MasterCard, Comerica Bank, and the U.S. Treasury Department teamed up in 2008 to create the Direct Express Debit MasterCard.
The federal government uses the Express Debit product to issue electronic payments to people who do not have bank accounts.
Comerica Bank is the issuing bank for the debit card. The Direct Express cards give recipients a number of consumer protections. In June 2015, MasterCard announced a partnership with British Airways to offer members the Executive Club Multi-Currency Cash Passport, which will allow members to earn extra points and make multi-currency payments.
The Passport card allows users to load up to 10 currencies: Euro, Pound, US dollar, Turkish lira, Swiss franc, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, UAE dirham, and South African rand at a locked-in rate.
When used, the card selects the local currency to ensure the best exchange rate, and if the local currency is not already loaded onto the card, funds are used from other currencies. QKR is a mobile payment app developed by MasterCard operating in the US and Australia for the purpose of ordering products and services through a smartphone, with payments charged to the associated credit card.
It is being deployed for use in large-scale events, such as sport events, concerts, movie theaters, or schools.
Unlike other MasterCard mobile payment apps such as PayPass, QKR does not use NFC from the phone, but rather an internet connection. Users can open the app, scan a QR code located on the back of the seat in front of them, and place orders for refreshments of their choice.
The order is dispatched to a nearby concession stand.
QKR is being marketed to vendors as a replacement for other mobile payment apps and a mobile ordering app, either distributed by the vendor, such as Starbucks' app, McDonald's app, or Chipo's mobile ordering app, or by a third party, such as Square, headed by Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey. MasterCard Contactless, formerly PayPass, is an EMV-compatible, contactless payment feature similar to American Express Pay and Visa PayWave.
All three use the same symbol as shown on the right.
It is based on the ISO/IEC 14443 standard that provides cardholders with a simpler way to pay by tapping a payment card or other payment device, such as a phone or key fob, on a point-of-sale terminal reader rather than swiping or inserting a card.
Contactless can currently be used on transactions up to and including £100, €50, 60 Bosnian marks, 80 Swiss franc, 50 US dollars, 100 Canadian dollars, 200 Swedish krona, 500 Norwegian krone, 100 zloty, 350 Danish krone, 80 New Zealand dollars, 100 Australian dollars, 1,000 ruble, 500 hryvnia, 500 lira depending on the card's currency rather than the transaction currency, or 5,000 Indian rupee.
In 2003, MasterCard concluded a 9-month PayPass market trial in Orlando, Florida, with JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, and MBNA.
More than 16,000 cardholders and more than 60 retailer locations participated in the market trial.
In addition, MasterCard worked with Nokia and the Nokia 6131, AT&T Wireless, and JP Morgan Chase to incorporate MasterCard PayPass into mobile phones using near-field communication technology in Dallas, Texas.
In 2011, Google and MasterCard launched Google Wallet, an Android application which allows a mobile device to send credit/debit card information directly to a PayPass-enabled payment terminal, bypassing the need for a physical card up until the creation of Google Pay.
In 2014, the Apple released Apple Pay for iOS devices. During late 2015, CD cards in the US stopped issuing PayPass-enabled plastic, but the key fob was still available upon request.
Effective July 16, 2016, CD cards stopped supporting PayPass completely.
While existing plastic and key fobs continued to work until their expiration date, no new PayPass-enabled hardware was issued to US customers after that date. In April 2023, MasterCard announced its intention to expand its partnerships with cryptocurrency firms.
At the time of the announcement, the firm had already partnered with other financial companies to offer cards linked to crypto in some nations.
This was despite an increasingly intense regulatory environment, and it followed rival company Visa stopping its agreement with FTX in November 2022.
The company said its MasterCard crypto credential service would allow for transactions between countries that met requirements like so-called travel rule by the Financial Action Task Force (FATF) using technology from CipherTrace.
It also worked with wallet providers BitNumi, Lurium, Mercado Bitcoin, and Uphold.
Its head of crypto and blockchain, Remastered, said usage for NFT transactions would come later on. We will continue about MasterCard in final part. To be continued.